Every day, the average American emits 120 pounds of emissions. What if we had to physically see the emissions we create? What would they look like? A mole of gas takes up 22.4 liters at standard temperature and pressure, and its weight in grams equal to its molecular weight. CO2 has a molecular weight of 44 grams, which takes up about 22 liters, or 2 grams per liter. A pound is 454 grams, so that would occupy 227 liters, or 227,000 cubic centimeters. The volume of a sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r to the third. If we set 227,000 equal to that equation, that means the radius would be 37.8 centimeters, which is approximately 15 inches. Thus, a pound of CO2 would fill a sphere at room temperature and pressure that is approximately 30 inches in diameter, which is approximately the size of one yoga ball. In one day, 48,000 U of I students will emit 5,760,000 pounds of CO2, or rather 5,760,000 yoga balls. That's enough yoga balls to fill not only an entire football field, but a football field that happened to be 27 stories tall. The problem with our emissions and the waste that we create is that individual blame seems hard to place in the context of large-scale environmental problems because they're far removed from where and when our actions take place. Emissions aren't as visible as landfills, plastic in the ocean, or endangered animals, even though we as individuals are the cause of them. Atmospheric conditions are more abstract compared to other detrimental environmental problems because we're all responsible for them. How would your daily activities change if you saw where your emissions, all 120 of your yoga balls, went? Would you think twice as they rolled up the rising coast of especially vulnerable countries, made an appearance in drought-ridden agricultural fields, or floated next to the runoff of a melting glacier with a sad polar bear on it? As we enter the holiday season, we'll be surrounded by friends and family and an ever-increasing amount of emissions. Holidays means more food, more shopping, and even more travel as we head off to celebrate with loved ones. The month of December alone will create an even larger spike in the amount of emissions we're already responsible for. How do we lighten up our load or decrease our amount of yoga balls? Carbon offsets, or buying the value of your pollution, are a conscious choice to mitigating the damage of unavoidable holiday travel. A market-based option that softens the blow of your CO2 usage, carbon offsets can be purchased to neutralize an emissions-heavy action, such as air travel. Available online, carbon offset companies not only perform an action that counterbalances your emissions-heavy situation, but makes the consumer more conscious of future actions. Rather than asking for the latest electronic gadget or fuzzy sweater that you probably definitely don't need, consider asking loved ones to purchase your carbon offsets instead as you enjoy the company of each other rather than more stuff. Carbon offsets may not be the end-all be-all solution when it comes to all of the carbon dioxide we emit, but it's a first step we can all take to come to terms with our own personal pollution. While naysayers may say that 120 pounds of emissions a day is minuscule compared to the large context of the rest of the world, the only way large-scale change can be initiated is with a culture of collective action and individual responsibility. As some of the largest polluters in the world, being accountable for our own actions can be part of a chain reaction that leads to not only a more sustainably conscious population, but also a sustainably oriented world.